how to remove student loans from your credit report. Not only that, but I'm going to explain the difference between updating the actual account to show 0 late payments and how to remove the entire thing. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you stay to the end of this live broadcast, because I'm going to give you the key to doing both of them. So you can't just stay for one part and not the other, because you're going to miss it. Now, make sure that you smash that like, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe so that you can learn how to remove these things. All right, so here's the reason that we want to learn how to remove student loans. They're one of the most difficult things that you could possibly ever dispute besides bankruptcy. And that's the reason you're going to want to know the key to doing this. And I do have a student loan course. I may post it down in the description and as a pinned comment later on, but I didn't do that yet. So there's a major difference between disputing to get rid of the late payments and disputing to get rid of the entire account. And we have two totally different methods, okay? Now, if you only have, let's just say, 3 late payments, we can dispute to get rid of those late payments, kind of like magic, to make it look like you had never paid late before. But if it shows 120 days late, you're not going to be able to remove those late payments. Okay, so 90 days, okay. 30 days, okay. 60 days, okay. Not 120. And this also goes for any other type of account, such as a charge-off, okay? So we're going to start with the late payments. And one of the things that you're going to want to stay for, again, is the key. So make sure that you are here, all right? Because we're not going to go over this again. We did talk about this partially last night. If you missed that, you're going to want to go over to my channel and check that out. So the way that you're going to remove the late payments on a student loan, okay, and I'm talking about Nelnet, Sallie Mae, Navient, specifically Navient, not U.S. Department of Education. Those actually come over as collections, and those are handled like this, not like this, okay? So the very first thing is we are going to put the burden of proof on whoever the heck it is, okay? So Nelnet, Navient, Sallie Mae, whatever, and the credit bureaus. And one of the things that you're going to want to reference, just to read it, not to reference in your letter, but is Cushman versus TransUnion from 1997, where the congressional opinion was that the burden of proof is not on you, the consumer. The burden of proof is on the credit bureaus and the creditor or the collector, okay? So when they're coming back and they're saying, oh, it's verified as accurate, you need to go handle it with so on and so forth, there is no so on and so forth. It is, no, dude, you have the grave responsibility to ensure that the information on my credit report is correct. Go check it out, okay? So next part, you are going to go and check out that oldest late payment. So for example, you were 90 days late, like on time, 90 days late, and then you were not late again until maybe, I don't know, the year after, okay? We're going to go back to that very first late payment, so your first date of delinquency. Go find whatever it is, go use Smart Credit. It shows, you know, a significantly longer payment history than Identity IQ or my Score IQ. You can also check out my FICO. I don't use that specifically for disputing, but to get that late payment date, you might want to check it out, okay? A little bit more expensive though. So we're going to get that date and we're going to say, I did not pay late, or I paid on time, okay, for X date. So if it was April 2021, you're going to say April 2021. April 2021 was paid on time. Please update to, you know, paid as agreed, never late, or however you want to phrase it, okay? Now, pausing right there real quick, if you want to see if I can personally do a credit sweep for you, you can use that link right up here and down in the description, and I'll see if I can help and increase your credit score and remove your negative items, all right? So the reason that we're using the oldest late payment is very, very simple, okay? The older whatever it is you're disputing, the harder it is for them to either A, get proof, which we're not going to anyways, and B, to verify, okay? Another thing is that you want to see if these late payments are reported consistently between the bureaus. So if you have, and I actually wrote it down here, let's just say that you have Equifax showing that you were okay, but another bureau showing that you were 30 days late, obviously that doesn't make any sense. Was I on time or was I late? I cannot be both of them, okay? And remember, these things are added by humans, and that is the reason that you're actually seeing this information all over the place, okay? All right, so you're first going to go and say, I paid on time for this date. You need to remove all these late payments, however many there are within a 3-month period, for inaccuracy and inconsistency, okay? And you can go and you can dispute that next late payment, and you can go and dispute your next late payment. So that is 3 rounds right there that you have the ability to get rid of these late payments. We're not going to use all of them in one round, okay? And again, make sure that you stay, because I'm going to show you how to remove the entire account. Right now, we are only talking about updating the late payments to make it look like you had never paid late, okay? That is one way to do it. Another way to do it, and this is going to be the key to getting these late payments off, is maybe you don't have 30 days late. Maybe you don't have 60 days late. What if it starts with 90 days? What if it literally says, okay, 90? What are you going to do? I mean, do you say I wasn't 30 days late on X date? Do you say I wasn't 60 days late on X date? No, because you don't have 30 or 60. Let me ask you a question though. How should these late payments be reported? Should it be 30, 60, 90, or should it be on time, 90, or on time, 120, however they report it? The answer to this is very, very simple, using common sense, okay? 30, 60, 90. If it is not reported like that, then guess what? It is inaccurate and you can dispute it. So if you're seeing this specifically with Navient, who was sued multiple times for misapplying payments to consumer accounts, which you can also use, go and Google it so you know what you're talking about in your dispute letter. Okay, smash that like if you didn't know that. Then this is going to be the way that you can remove those late payments. And your dispute reason is going to be very, very simple. You cannot report that I was 90 days late without 30 or 60 day prior late payments. Remove this 90-day late payment. However you want to word it, but that's the premise behind this. I use this for tons and tons of clients, and it works many, many times more than it doesn't, okay? Now, another thing that you can do is you can actually use your late payment history to remove this entire account. So now we're talking about removing this entire student loan from your credit report, okay? So the same way you can say, I paid on time for, X date, so April 2021, please delete this account for inaccuracy, because they're not going to be able to verify it. There's no people, there's no investigation, there's none of that stuff. So when we're giving them all these facts, it's going to be significantly easier for you, the consumer, to be able to get it taken off without it even going past the bureaus, okay? That is our actual goal. Our goal is not to get it to Navient or Nelnet or whoever. Our goal is to get the bureaus to remove it. So with removing the account from the credit report, you can actually go again after that oldest late payment, ask for deletion. Another one, and make sure that you stay, because I'm going to give you the key to removing this from your credit report. And if you don't implement all these things, then guess what? The key that I'm going to give you isn't going to mean anything, okay? First date of delinquency, dispute it to get the entire account removed. 90 days late, okay, 90, or okay, 90. Dispute it to get it removed instead of correcting the account. So your difference in your dispute would be not and update to, paid on time. It would be and remove this account for inaccuracy. All right. Another thing is that when they are reporting that you paid on time when you were actually late, and on time when you were actually late, and then that you were 90 days late, they're thinking that they're doing you a solid for not actually reporting you late until you're 90 days late. However, that's not the way that the FCRA, states that your account should actually be reported, right? So that means that when the first time that they said that you were on time, you were actually 30 days late. The next one, 60. The next one, 90. And the next one, 120, right? So this isn't actually 90. This one would be 90 right here. So that means that you can go back and say, I was on time for this date, but not on time for this date. They're not going to be able to determine that you actually were or that you weren't. You can word it however you want, but the main premise here is they can't report it like this. So you can either A, update the account, or B, delete the entire account. Your next thing besides going through the payment history, is to treat this account as a charge-off. What that means is everything that I've ever taught you on the pyramid, like when I was live yesterday talking about the pyramid staying at the top of the pyramid with your dispute and your dispute reasons, we're going to use that same premise here, okay? So if you go after the payment history, it doesn't work. You can go after, violations, it doesn't work, whatever. Now treat it as a charge-off if you can't go after the late payments or the payment history, or everything is reported 100% accurately and consistently. Now we can go date last paid, then date last active, then hit them. And this is the key, again, to this part, hit them with the notice of dispute, okay? So when you dispute and they receive it, they're supposed to, within 30 days, enter the notice of dispute, okay? And if you didn't know this, smash that like, all right? So that is a violation pursuant to Section 623 of the FCRA if they do not enter it within that 30-day period, okay? And most of the time, they're not going to. So guess what? That's like a violation for free. We want to be able to use this violation, though. Don't just get the violation and then do nothing with it. That's like having a wild card that you just throw behind you. No, we're going to hit them with that when we send it. They don't do anything about it. They didn't answer it. Now we have that violation. Round 2. Now we can either use a factual dispute, go after the payment history, go after the failure to enter, to do the, update the date last reported, or we can go after the notice of dispute, okay? So normally I go after notice of dispute on either round 2 or round 3. It is completely and totally up to you, but you want to have an action plan when you are going after student loans because they are so difficult. Like if you want to list the most difficult down to like the easiest, very first one would be bankruptcy, then student loans, then foreclosures. So, the easiest is going to be medical and judgments and tax liens. You can get those off in as soon as like 5 days. And if you didn't know that, I have other videos that explain that. So you're going to want to make sure that number 1, you subscribe so you can remove these things. And number 2, you check out my channel and the other 800 videos I have so that you can learn how to do this, okay? And you can even use that keyword search and put in medical or bankruptcy or judgments or portfolio recovery. Whatever it is that you're looking for, I have a video on it, all right? It's only been 8 years going on 9 and 800 videos. So yeah, dude, there's a video for it. All right. So when you're doing your action plan, you're going to want to list, at least for the credit report that you're looking at, how you're going to go after round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, and stop at round 5, okay? Not stop disputing at round 5, but stop your action plan like literally on round 5. So we want to know what our dispute would be for round 1, so let's just say that it's date last paid. Round 2, date last active. Round 3, payment history. Round 4, first date of delinquency. Round 5, notice of dispute. However you want to do it, you're going to want to know exactly how you're going to go after them, and then you're going to update it as time goes on. Now, what do I mean by time goes on? Aren't they just going to delete it because there's a violation? Aren't they going to delete it just because I show them that there's a violation or an inaccuracy or inconsistency? No. You may be able to get it off one bureau, but the likelihood that you're going to get it off all 3 at the same time is actually very low, unless it's Nelnet or Navient or Sallie Mae or whoever that actually removes it from your credit report, okay? So keep that in mind. If you go after these things without knowing ahead of time how you're going to handle this, then it's going to be very difficult. You're going to get frustrated, and you're probably going to give up. And that's exactly what the credit bureaus want you to do, which is why they don't respond, which is why they don't put the notice of dispute, which is why they send stall tactics and say that you're working with a credit repair company. All of these things are to get you to go away. And now that you know how to handle this, you're not going to go away, all right? So as a recap, for updating the account to remove the late payments but keep the account and show as if you had paid on time, doesn't work for charge-off, doesn't work for a settled account. This is only if you have a maximum of 3 late payments, maximum 90 days, okay? You are going to go after the late payments, put the burden of proof on them. You are going to go after the inconsistencies in the actual reporting of the account. You're going to then go after any inconsistencies like this. So, okay 30, 60, 90, 30, 60, however. And then if that doesn't work, there's other things that you can go after, such as violations and the rest of, using the Agero formula and the pyramid, okay? Normally this handles it though, okay? If you're going to remove the account, you are not first going to treat it as a charge-off, meaning going down the hierarchy, you are actually first going to go after the payment history, okay? So oldest late payment, first day delinquency, late payment history, and then we're going to treat it as a charge-off with the date last paid, date last active, notice of dispute, date last reported, etc., okay? And again, the key to removing the entire account is the notice of dispute. All right, there's many violations that you will be able to get by disputing these things, but the majority of the time I remove them, and this is just keeping it on me. I don't know, I don't know, nor do I care what other people do, because I've been doing the same thing, just getting better, obviously, every single year, and this is how I get them off. All right, now if you want to, number one, learn how to remove the student loans, and you want to do it at your own pace, in maybe 15 minutes or so when I get back to my computer, I will post that link down in the description and as the pinned first comment. Or if you want to see if I can do a credit sweep for you, that link is literally right here, my740.com. Okay, now if you have questions about student loans, I don't have the chat open right now because I'm literally showing you how to do something, but you can comment on any of my videos or come back to this one later once it posts as a replay and let me know what it is that you're struggling with about this specifically, and I'll help you if I can. Okay, but that is it. I just wanted to explain this in less than 20 minutes, but you're gonna want to check out the live that I did last night on the 4 steps to remove literally any account from your credit report minus child support and foreclosures in process. Okay, so head over to my channel and I want for you to watch that one. Okay, it is very important, and it's also going to help you understand a little bit more about this. Okay, so that's it. Smash the like if you haven't done so, subscribe if you haven't done so, and I will see you later. Bye.